Hello everyone, welcome to Mitra's IAS. Myself Nimesh Kapoor. Today we are going to continue with our PT 2022 crash course with our lecture number 6. So today we are going to continue with environment, and with respect to environment we'll be dealing with the first topic, International Solar Alliance. So what is International Solar Alliance? We'll come to that. United States, USA has also joined International Solar Alliance as 101st member. So International Solar Alliance is a nodal agency. Okay, I'll come to this as well, but most important is it is an Indian initiative, which was launched by Prime Minister of India and the President of France on 30th November 2015 in Paris, on the outlines of Paris climate COP21, right? With 121 solar resource-rich countries laying fully or partially between, right? So for those members, it was principally open. Currently, 101 members, including United States, are members of International Solar Alliance. So it is an intergovernmental treaty-based organization with a global mandate to catalyze solar growth. So to increase and augment the solar growth by helping reduce the cost of financing and technology. International Solar Alliance is also the nodal agency for implementing one sun, one world, one grid, which seeks to transfer solar power generated in one region to feed the electricity demands of the others, right? So these are the salient features you can read in that. As of now, this is more than important what is required. It is headquartered. Interim secretariat is set up in Gurugram. To collectively address key common challenges to scaling up of solar energy in ISA countries, this is the major objective. So this is all about International Solar Alliance. Blue carbon. So what is blue carbon? So coastal and marine ecosystems such as mangrove forest, seagrass beds, and tidal marshes capture and store a huge amount of carbon. This is called blue carbon. Very important, right? So 70% of ocean carbon so coastal ecosystems occupy less than 0.5% of global ocean surface area, yet store around 70% of total carbon sequestered by the world oceans. So it's very important. Just see the importance of these coastal marine ecosystems. More than forests, mangroves, seagrass, and tidal marshes store more carbon per unit area than terrestrial forests and play a crucial role in mitigating climate change. Seagrass grow very fast, absorbing carbon from seawater to build their leaves and roots. Seagrass beds secure sediment and dead organic matter, storing a significant amount of carbon in the soil. Mangroves absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to photosynthesize. So they are extremely effective at storing carbon in their leaves, wood, roots, as well as in the sediments they hold in the place. Tidal marshes are home to numerous vegetation types that store in addition to securing sediments and creating carbon-rich soil. So, but the problem is currently that they are under threat. Blue carbon ecosystems are being degraded globally at alarming rate of 1 to 7% per year, often due to coastal development. Unsuitable harvesting, destructive fishing, and pollution are also significant threats. This reduces their capacity to store carbon to support fisheries and livelihoods. So for protection and restoration, various measures are being taken, right? So this is important. Here, this diagram will clearly tell you that what is the biomass of that and how much soil organic carbon do they store. So 11 is the value that is, the total biomass. 500 times 500 is the value of tons CO2 per hectare is equivalent per hectare, right there. So 32.43 is the biomass and 970. So just see these three: salt, seagrass, salt marsh, and estuarine mangroves have significant capacity to store soil organic carbon, whereas their biomass is relatively less. On the other hand, tropical forests have 600 living biomass, and the relative retention of soil organic carbon is pretty less. So this was blue carbon. Now next we come on to Commission on Air Quality Management. CAQM is a short form, but it is also in full form. It is written as Commission on Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas. You all know that one of the biggest problem plaguing Delhi and around is the pollution in winter months, starting October till March. And this is for multiple reasons. Hence, a collaborative approach is being taken now through the being set up. The Commission on Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas has been set up. What is this organization? The Commission for Air Quality Management was established as a statutory body by government in August 2021 as an overarching body to carry out air quality management in Delhi NCR. So it's an overarching body. The body has been in the news with the air pollution, yes. The Commission for Air Quality Management is statutory body formed under Commission for Air Quality Management in NCR and adjoining areas Act. So it is a statutory body created by an act of the Parliament. The Commission basically aims at better coordination, research, identification and resolution of problems related to air quality in NCR and adjoining areas. Adjoining areas refers to areas in the neighboring states of NCR, namely Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. The air quality around Delhi NCR has been monitored and managed by multiple organizations till now, including CPCB, the State Pollution Control Boards, Environmental Pollution Prevention and Control Authority, right, EPCA of NCR and various state governments. So these bodies are further monitored by Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change and also Supreme Court. So this act CAQM, under which the CAQM has been established, consolidates all the body in that the CAQM is the overarching body that will take decisions and issue orders for protecting and improving the air quality in Delhi and NCR, right? So this is the major thing you should look at. Other things with respect to CAQM, like what is EPCA, you'll get to know here. What are the, total how many members are there, how it will be functioning, right? What are penalty provisions, commission to address 3 board issues. So what are the multiple hurdles also you can get to know from this infographic which I've attached. That will be more than enough required for what is from the exam point of view, prelims point of view. Important thing now, new Ramsar sites. So as you all know, till 2020 we had only 27 Ramsar sites. Now, as on date, we have 49 Ramsar sites. So in last 2 years, 22 new Ramsar sites have been added. So that becomes really important to know what are those Ramsar sites, where they are located. Right now, I've provided a list of all the 49. Here, important is this, this is the area of, so this is also important. Date on which they were notified, date notified, and location, right? And this is the name. So if you immediately 2022 or 2021, this is our focus. So Gujarat, many have been added. Thol Lake Wildlife Sanctuary, Vadhvana Wetland, Gujarat, Vindhwas Wildlife Sanctuary, Haryana, Sultanpur National Park, Haryana. So these are 4, 2 in Gujarat, 2 in Haryana. You should remember. I'm just talking about the new ones right now. So the other ones which have been recently added are, so I'll only be talking which have been added in 21 and 22, if any. So Bakhira Wildlife Sanctuary, Uttar Pradesh, Hyderpur Wetland, Uttar Pradesh, right? So these are the major ones. So in 2020, there are many which have been added. So that also you should have a look at. So see, importantly, how you can remember this is, firstly, that locations, every state wise you should remember, important ones you should remember, largest, smallest, and what are Ramsar sites, right? So this 49, UPSC never can ask 1 to 2 questions in a year about Ramsar site, and they are extremely important, right? So this is very important. Go through this table, and along with that, search it on the web, the specific location as well. even for you, it may be important to look at particular kind of species which are found in these sanctuaries or these Ramsar sites. Now let's come to National Steel Scrap Policy. Right. So Government of India, have come up with the National Steel Scrap Policy. It's a very important policy. It's moving towards globally competitive steel industry. The main idea's framework is to facilitate and promote establishment of ferrous steel scrapping centers in India, which are currently very less. Secondly, in promoting a circular economy in the steel sector. So what is circular economy? Circular economy actually, as I've shown in this diagram, you can see. So for example, design and manufacture by industry. Here, let's say it is, let's say automobile industry. So design of and manufacturing of a car. Retailer, there will be a showroom, right? So a retailer will be selling that car. Consumer, it will go now to consumer who will own it. So repair, recycling, reuse, second hand, maybe sold, repaired and sold. And finally, when the life is over, you can go to recycling sector, which will recycle the the final product, steel and the other materials, and then subsequently can go back. And also recycling sector, certain certain appliances, certain things which are there in the car or any other appliance for that matter, if we are talking about a circular, can be used by the original company itself again by recycling process. Hence, it will promote circular economy. So there will be minimum wastage. There will be less carbon footprint. Again, I'll come to carbon footprint as well separately. But this is one thing. One more thing is ensuring sustainable development by the principles of 6 R's. So it will ensure sustainable development through 6 R's by reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, redesign, and remanufacture. Okay. Then one or more objective is to promote high quality ferrous scrap for quality steel production to minimize dependency on imports. To evolve a responsive ecosystem by involving all stakeholders. So this is the major objective of this steel scrap policy. Now this will reduce dependency on imports and decongest Indian cities from end of life vehicles, right? Now under this, extended producer responsibility will be there. What is this? That the automobile manufacturers which are designing vehicles will also keep in mind the recyclability of the vehicle and end of life. This policy envisages a framework to facilitate and promote establishment of metal scrapping centers in India. Now, this will work on hub and spoke model. So what is hub and spoke model is used where there are multiple location sourcing with a central location as the hub. So suppose there is one manufacturing area, let's say an auto plant. So Tata is producing a car, but then there semiconductors will come from some place, tires will come from another place, right? Then seats will come from another place, let's say, and music system will come from another place. So what I'm telling you is that hub and spoke model. Hub will be one, but the parts will come from and assemble in one place. The location provides a single point of contact to the client, whilst in the country extensions called spokes. Under the policy, formal and scientific collection, dismantling and processing activities for end-of-life products that are sources of recyclables, right, are being promoted. Currently, 4 collection and dismantling centers will cater to 1 scrap processing center. Under this National Steel Scrap Policy, it will also promote the National Steel Policy 2017. If you want to go into supplementary read, you can read that as well. Now, I'll come to carbon handprint. What is a carbon handprint? We've heard about carbon footprint. I'll come to that as well. What is a carbon handprint? A handprint refers to the beneficial environmental impacts that organizations can achieve and communicate by providing products that reduce the footprints of customers, right? So it refers to beneficial environmental impacts that organization can achieve and communicate by providing products that reduce the footprints of customers. A carbon handprint is reduction of the carbon footprint of a customer. So here carbon footprint is mentioned. What is carbon footprint? We'll talk about that as well. So carbon footprint is the negative impact of a particular organization or any particular sector on environment. Currently 15% agriculture total carbon footprint. So total carbon today in society, 15% contribution negative impact is being provided by the agriculture sector. Then land use change and forestry, electricity and heat 18%, right? Road transportation 10%. There are many. You can just look at this. Remember the highest. That is more important for you. In this, electricity and heat is industry is the highest. Number one, electricity is second. Which carbon footprint is the most. The next topic we'll come to is National Clean Air Program. So it was launched by Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change in January 2019. So it is the first ever effort in the country to frame a national framework for air quality management with a time-bound reduction target. National Clean Air Program, right? It seeks to cut the concentration of coarse particulate matter of particulate matter 10 and fine particles, which is PM 2.5, by at least 20% in next 5 years. So in next 5 years is 20 till 2022, 23, let's say. This plan includes 102 non-attainment cities across 23 states and UTs, which were identified by Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, on the basis of their ambient air quality between 11 and 15. What is about non-attainment cities? So these are those that have fallen short of the national ambient air quality standards for over 5 years. Right? The right to clean air stood recognized as part of right of life under Article 21. Very important. So it is listed under Article 21 by the Supreme Court. Clearing the air, so you can read it from here as well in detail. National Clean Air Program. How it was formed, what is its major objective. So this is it with respect to National Clean Air Program. Let's come to EDN. Topic EDN. EDN is nothing but environmental DNA. In a first, researchers have shown that environmental DNA can be used to detect the presence of an endangered bird species by collecting and analyzing small amounts of water from the pools where they drink, an advance that may lead to better assessment of animal and bird population in the wild. So this is one of the important impact of eDNA. Animals, how they are collected. See, animals shed DNA through their breath, saliva, fur, feces into the environment, and these samples are called eDNA. So the DNA can be selected. So these are environmental DNA. It can help understand the composition of animal communities and detect the spread of non-native species, right? So these are multiple, the advantages of eDNA. It can aid in tracking long-distance migratory birds and other bird flying patterns. It can also capture DNA from smaller animals, including insects. So these are the advantages of eDNA. So there is one global eDNA project, EDNA project, you can say, by UNESCO. So it is important for this eDNA project, global eDNA, where UNESCO launched the project to study the vulnerability of species to climate change at marine World Heritage sites in October 2021. Okay, so this is with respect to eDNA. The next topic we want to touch right now is the National Coal Gasification Mission. National Coal Gasification Mission. So recently, National Coal Gasification Mission has been launched to achieve 100 metric tons of coal gasification. What is coal gasification? Coal gasification is gasification of coal or transformation of coal finally into clean syngas, which is synthetic gas. We'll come to that. So coal gasification is the process of converting coal into synthetic gas, synthesis gas, also known as syngas. So popularly known as syngas. It is a mixture of hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So syngas is a mixture of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen, CO plus H2, right? So this is what syngas is. What is the need for coal gasification in India? See, well, firstly, it is environment friendly. See, as you know, already there is a lot of pressure with respect to clean, environment practices. COP26 actually wanted to eradicate use of coal altogether, but due to India's pressure, they have told to, the countries have been told to reduce the use of coal. Now, through this coal gasification, coal can be actually used and converted to clean syngas. And syngas is very much environment friendly. So coal gasification is considered to be cleaner alternative than coal combustion. Second, it has multiple applications. So syngas produced from coal gasification can be used in production of synthetic natural gas, right? Energy fuels, methanol and ethanol, ammonia for fertilizers, and petrochemicals, right? These products will help in moving towards self-reliance under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Okay. To exploit untapped reserves, most of India's coal reserves cannot be tapped. Underground coal gasification can help extract abundant reserves that are deep, scattered, and forested. Key components of the mission, you can read about it. As of now, you really should focus on this is, so coal gasification mission, what is coal gasification, what is syngas, right? And the quick reader, see components of mission, though they are not too important. Last topic for the day today, for this session, we'll be talking what is ethanol blending. Now, ethanol blending actually, in fiscal year 2021 to India has achieved 9.45% of ethanol blending. So it is a blending of ethanol in petrol. With the current global crude prices issue, which are exorbitantly high, ethanol blending, has become one of the important strategies of Government of India. Ethanol extracted from multiple sources through starch and other, sources, which is listed in the national policy on biofuels, have talked about blending ethanol in petrol up to 10% by end of this year and 20% by end of 2025-26. This will also really help in controlling the balance of payment, CAD, or current account deficit, because India imports most of its crude. Hence, India's, the bill, foreign exchange bill is extremely high. So ethanol blending wants to, firstly, it will help decrease that. And secondly, because of the, intrinsic, the matter, which is like there are so many crops which are not edible, but they can help producing ethanol can be used. See, ethanol blending is done by Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. So they aim to take this 10%, as I told you about. So as on date, which I'm talking about today, which is 13th of April, it is 9.99%, which has been listed in the news today. 9.99% of in petrol. We're not talking about diesel right now. And in December 2020, the government advanced its target of achieving 20% blending to 2025, right? So what is national policy on biofuels? This is very important. Last year, also UPSC asked a question. It is an indicative target of 20% blending of ethanol in petrol and 5% blending of biodiesel in diesel is proposed by 2030. So now they've advanced it to 2025, as I've told you. But 20% and 5%, 20% of bio, so you can say ethanol in petrol and 5% blending of biodiesel in diesel. With a thrust on advanced biofuels, the policy indicates a viability gap funding scheme for 2G ethanol bio. So you can read into the intricacies of this policy word by word, whatever is given here. One very important part of this biofuel strategy, India's biofuel strategy, is the National Biomass Cook Stove Program, a scheme to make India's rural kitchens smoke-free by using less biofuel in its improved biomass cook stove. Algae as a future feedstock for biorefineries will be there. Algae are the most sustainable fuel source in terms of food security and environmental issues. The maize utility. It is feedstock for biofuel, ethanol, also used for starch production because of its high starch content. No more on Jethro for carcass. So this also I've been talking about. So Jethro carcass also is used extensively in producing biofuel. Aviation fuel. It is an oil producing non-edible plant. So this is Jethro actually. It is an oil producing non-edible plant and shrub which grows in Central American parts of Asia. So there are different generations of biofuels. First generation of biofuel made from sugar, starches, oil and animal fats. Second made from non-food crops or agriculture waste. Third made from algae or other quickly growing biomass. Fourth made specially from engineered plant or biomass. So this is what you should, you should be aware about India's ethanol blending national policy on biofuels, right? So that was it from today's session. And these 10 topics we've discussed on environment, and we'll continue with the environment for next session as well. In the meantime, you study well, all the very best, keep preparing, and we'll catch you in the next session. Thank you again. Thank you.